Hi guys, you're here with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and guess what we're doing today? We're doing a topic that I could not find anywhere on YouTube, and very little on Google. Actually, none on Google, I just had to adapt it. Infant spells. And the first spell that I'm doing 3. This one is for diaper rash. We're also doing one on teething and one on sleep. Okay? So the first one is diaper rash. And I would like to say that I created this video for my newest subscriber, and his name is Evan. I think it's pronounced McGehee, but it's spelled MC capital G-E-H-E-E. McGehee? I want to say it right, so Evan, if you could let me know, that would be fantastic. I've made this for you and your beautiful family. So, as you guys know, I subscribe back to all my subscribers, whether you have a channel or not. And then if you have a channel, I watch all your content, because I want to know you just like you know me. And I would love to get to know all of my friends better. So, basically, I was looking through Evan's videos, and he has really cool videos of him and his baby. One of them he's singing to his baby Frozen, and then the other one, I think it's just the baby laughing. I can't remember. It's really funny. So I thought of, like, on the spot, I should totally ask him if he would enjoy some spells for teething, which was the first thing I thought was teething. And he said, yeah, totally. So this is me doing up some spells, but the first one is diaper rash. So diaper rash, first thing you want to know is, A, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a practicing herbalist. I have no title, I have no degree. I just sit at home, read books, research, do witchcraft with it, all of that, right? So, and you probably want to consult your doctor and your intuition on any of these things, okay? And I just feel like I have to say that, but you aren't going to have the baby anywhere near this. The baby is going to be on the other side of the house, and you're going to do the spell on the other side, because infants are too tiny of humans to be around herbs. Herbs are very potent. Especially if you were to add them to smoke or something, which we're not doing in here, but you certainly could. Burn these herbs on a coal disc and then just pray and chant. Like, for instance, we're doing a poppet with medicinal herbs inside of the poppet, and we're putting our magical intention to it. That's how I've decided to do up these 3 spells. But if you didn't want to do it that way, and you don't have wax or the ability to make a poppet, or you didn't want to, because some people look at a poppet and think it's evil, but it's just so not. These are my wax poppets I've already kind of made up. They're just forms of the body, and when you use them for good, you use them for good. When you use them for bad, you use them for bad, as with absolutely any magic. There is the most beautiful bird out my window. It has like a red neck and a white back, and a black head, and a bright orange tail. What kind of bird is that? Man, I'm sorry. So, my window is so distracting. So you really want to, I don't know where I left off. Just the baby's not in the room, because babies are too tiny humans, and herbs are strong on their very own. So if you don't do poppets, you could do, I'm trying to get myself back. And so, if you don't do poppets, you could do candle magics. Evan, or anybody, if you want to see a video on candle magics rather than a poppet, I could do that up for sure. I could also do one where we, like, chant and smoke herbs in a cauldron. The herbs that I'm going to list here. So, since there aren't any videos or success with search on infant spells for diaper rash, I went with the medicinal herbs for a homeopathic, naturopathic, Chinese medicine type perspective. I then decided to place it into a wax poppet. You could use any style of poppet. Wax, cloth with needle and thread, dried corn like the silks, cobs, and husks, etc. Get creative. To me, pressed on time, wax is the fastest, and paraffin wax is the fastest. Do you know what paraffin wax is? It's this thing here like you see at the beauty shop that you dip your hand into. So for me, I dip my hand into it, I get it in, I get a nice soak on my hand, I roll it into a ball, and if we have time, which I think we will on the video, we're only at 5 minutes, we'll just do this up right here, right there. Right here, right there. So, to me, this paraffin wax is the fastest, and you guys know I'm often pressed for time because I'm trying to make video after video. I got this request and this idea this morning. I have 1,000 other things I could do, but this is more fun to me. Like, get creative on the spot. Use, what moon cycle are we in? The moon is waning, and the new moon is coming. Yeah, so our creativity is really coming in right now with this new moon we're building up to, or we're waning down to. Building it up to it in a way, but waning down literally, yeah. Okay, so get creative. To me, pressed on time. I can make a poppet video from start to finish also when I use the paraffin wax, but I could not sit here and sew up a poppet and show you how to do that from start to finish, so this really is fast. And these are like $20 brand new, and I got mine used for like $5 or $10, and then you buy these big blocks of wax to put in there over and over. And I have a lavender wax in here, which is great for all purpose for a baby because lavender is just calming in general. So, of course, it's already going to be part of the sleep one, but for a diaper rash, you want them to be calm while they're going through this instance, so it's great to have in there. You could add any aromatherapy oils into this as well, any essential oils. And you could do just regular beeswax and add any essential oils in that you might want. The bird out there is eating these off of the tree. I've dried some. It's a really unique berry. They're fresh on the tree, of course. But I gave some to Bastet. Okay, so basically, I'm using the poppet, I'm using a poppet represent the herbs going into the plate. Okay, so like for a diaper rash, you're going to want to put the herbs in the area of the bum, okay? So if you see this is the front of the poppet, you put them where the area is. And then when the wax is warm, we're just going to press whatever herbs we have off of this list into the poppet. And if I don't mention it later, you're going to get even more creative for both the symbolism and both just the visual and the time and intent that you put into it. And we're going to create a diaper to put around that diaper rash as well, out of like, you could just use a napkin and tiny safety pins, or you could use a napkin and hot glue, and you could use, you know, get creative, just make a teeny tiny diaper out of either cloth and pins, which would be the best, or you could just use a napkin. You get it, you guys. You could paint it on there. If you didn't have any of those other things, you could paint it on there. You could carve it on with your finger into the wax. Okay, so so you're pressing the herbs into the area of the illness. For instance, if it was for arm pain, you'd push it into the arm, right? But this is for the area of the little bum on a baby. Here, so we'll wax our herbs into the bottom area, and even, handmade a tiny diaper, we talked about it. Okay, so the herbs that you can use are calendula. And this is, you see it all the time in the homeopathic diaper cream. Lavender, which is already in the wax, but I'm definitely adding in some lavender flower. It smells so good. The only beeswax I have is this, and I'm already using wax, so I may not add this, but I may. I'll see with how I feel. Now, this isn't on my list. I forgot to add it. I'm sorry. But raw Manuka honey that is a 15 plus or higher, you can actually put it on your cuts and wounds. So I'm not telling you to put it on your baby's bum, but you should ask your doctor or your naturopath if you can put this on your baby's bum for a diaper treatment. And if so, how you could do it. You just look it up. Alright, and then the last thing is oats. Oats. Or oatmeal, but I wouldn't use an oatmeal that has anything in it, you know, like, that's why I'm just showing you oats, but online it says oatmeal. So yeah, you're adding it to a poppet. It's like, if you had oatmeal that was like super sugary and was like in an instant packet, just pick the oats out of it. You know, you don't need a ton, you only need like 3 or 4. So just, if you had that, do that. My stomach is hungry. Okay, so those are the herbs that I have. The other ones on the list are marshmallow root, comfrey root, chickweed, and barberry root. So you could use any of those things. And Manuka honey, right? Now here's the list of what you will need. You will need some of baby's nail clippings, okay? And or a piece of baby's hair that's been shed. I'm serious on this. Never, ever, 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 ever harm a baby or even pull a hair out of its head. Never. Never. Okay. Now that we've said that, the places you can look for shed baby infant hairs are on their pillow, in their clothing, in their bedding, okay? In the car seat. Yeah. It's all the places probably I could think of. On the couch, in their boppy pillow, wherever they hang out, you know, look for shed hairs. But do not ever pull the hair. And I wouldn't suggest cutting it either, you know, because baby's hair is precious. So, also, you need to have this paraffin wax thing or another way to make a poppet. A candle to burn during your working is really important in my opinion. I feel like this really keeps our spirit guides around and our angels right there with us during our working, and that's really important to me. I don't know how you feel about it, but in general, a candle burning during the working is just very traditional, and I feel like it's something I never go without, ever. Okay, what else do we need? We need baby's tears that they've cried during the pain of this exact issue. So, what I mean by that is, when you're changing the baby's diaper and you're on that rash area and it's crying, take a clean tissue and wipe baby's tears away when they're crying tears during the pain of this issue, okay? And what I would do is have a very clean and ready to go little jar. Except if this didn't have onion skins in it, just a little jar ready to go. Clean, sanitized, put that tissue in there, close it up, keep it for your working. The energy is held in there. It's pretty important. Okay. And then as many of the above herbs from the list as you want, which are calendula, oats, oatmeal, lavender, beeswax, marshmallow root, comfrey root, chickweed, and barberry root, and Manuka honey, 15 or above. And the last 2 ingredients are the most important ingredients. Time to sit with the spell and your intention with the time. to sit with this puppet and hold your energy over it. And I'm talking, you know, I usually sit with it and I feel like I have a good amount of power. I usually sit with my puppets for like half hour with a candle burning. And I even do candle magic with it, you know. Shoot, do we have time? We don't have time to do the puppet, but we have time for me to also tell you how you can amp this up with some simple candle magic. Okay, so watch my videos on color magic and how you can use them, but let me figure out a good one really quick. Banishing. I mean, if we want to banish this issue, you could use black or brown. Or you could use the color for the candle. You could use the color where's going to be healing? Well, you could use blue for women, pregnancy, motherhood, but that doesn't have to do with the baby particularly. Yellow for fathers who need parenting help. It says that directly from Scott Cunningham's words. So, since it is a man, Evan will use yellow for fathers who need parenting help, and blue for motherhood. So if it was a woman doing the spell, that was the mother, use blue. And if it was a man doing the spell, use yellow. And those seem to be the ones that apply to this the most, in my opinion. Or you could use white, because white circumferences all colors. Or you could use black, because black is all colors. Also, white is purity and just like represents all colors. So, Evan, grab your yellow candle and then carve down the side in the law of attraction, like in future tense, because the universe doesn't understand the construction of time. So you need to say it like it's already happened. Grab your knife and carve down the edge of the candle, and it's not all going to fit in one line. You're going to have to twirl it, keep writing down, twirl it, keep writing down, twirl it, keep writing down, okay? And write it in future tense. So, for instance, if it was me, if I was you, I would say, let me think. After this puppet was made for my child, Darling, or whatever her name is, her diaper rash has gone and she cries no more. Or something like that. But you have to state it like it's already happened. She cries no more, not I hope she cries no more. No. You need to say it like it's already happened and that you're thankful for it. You know, like that. Okay? And then you light the candle, and as it burns down, let me see if any of my oils would work for this. Let me think. Well, I mean, you could use the road opener oil, in my opinion. You could use the amethyst oil. I honestly would use the amethyst oil. So that's this oil, and I've done a video up on that if you want to know how to make my amethyst oil. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So pretty. So I'd anoint the candle with amethyst oil after you've written your intention on it. Burn that down as you're doing your 30 to 40 minutes afterwards sitting with the puppet, okay? Again, dip your hand in the paraffin wax. Take the paraffin wax off. It's all gooey and soft. Form a human shape out of it, because it's going to be too hard to... You could form a baby shape out of it, I guess. Yeah, sure. You could form just a little baby. But if you form the legs and stuff, then where you put the herbs will be more specific. Because later we're going to do a teething issue. It's going to be right in the teeth, you know, and then after that we're going to do a sleeping issue. So it's going to, you know, so I guess you could form a little baby in a basket if you want. But I think, for me, it makes more sense to do it this way because the part of the body is right there. Like with the, even if they're just like arm, leg, you know where the stomach is, you know where the lungs are, all that. Okay, so you've got your candle going, you've got your beautiful oil on it. You're putting your herbs inside of the bum area, because and then you fashion a cloth diaper. Another thing I forgot to say, gall darn it, I didn't get there yet, because was another thing that we need is one of baby's special things around. So like babies, it has to be something that can be washed afterwards, though, in case any of these herbs touch it. None of these herbs are toxic, but like I say, herbs are very strong, and especially infants are tiny humans. Tiny humans. What if a clove fell into baby's toy and then a baby got it somehow? That would be horrible. So just remember to check and make sure nothing's fallen in it. Wash it off properly. So like a baby rattle would be great. Since baby can't be right here with you in the spell because baby's too tiny of a human, you want baby's happy energy. And you can get that from baby's blanket, or you can get it from baby's clothes during playtime. So before this spell, you could take your baby, have playtime session for an hour, and your baby's happy and having a good time. Take those clothes off, change your baby, put the clothes in a jar. This time, get a big jar. You don't have to, but I honestly feel like clean jars hold energy. Like, seriously, like that thing where people are like, whoop, slip on the, like, that's me. Like, I'm trying to catch things, you know? And, so anyway, another thing that you can do is, like, a toy that they play with loads, like their rattle, or, like, a book they love, just have it next to it. But if it's a rattle, you can shake that around the poppet, because it's happy energy, shaking that around the poppet, okay? Because baby just is too small a human to be anywhere near this, okay? So baby's blanket, clothes they've worn, as long as it was happy, yeah. Okay, I feel like we did a really good job. I've said everything. Scrabble tiles. You can lay some of them out and have them say, I don't have the time to actually, like, pick it and say it, but you could write out baby's name. I don't actually know Evan's baby's name. I'm just saying, like, you could just write out in, again, say it in future tense. Your baby's name, what did we call baby before? I can't remember. Let's just call her Francie. That's a cute little girl name. Francie cries no more. The diaper rash is gone. You know? Spell that all out right in Scrabble tiles right around your... this is just an idea. I use Scrabble tiles for a lot of my spells. If you've seen some of my videos, Evan, I actually have a video just on Scrabble tiles. So spell that out around. You just have all this intention going. Now take more intention and fashion that little cloth diaper and put it over the herbs that you've put into the little bum area. Now fashion a little cloth diaper. Okay. Sit here with it. You've got the amethyst oil on yourself. If you look at my amethyst oil video, there's actually a huge chunk on the inside too. You can't really see it well. You could ask your doctor if everything, your naturopath, if everything's safe in there is safe for, you know, a baby, probably once they get bigger or something. So, this is my video on a spell for an infant. I'm really, really excited that I've done it. And, please be excited for me and come back and watch, as my second spell will be for sleep, and then my third spell will be for teething. Really excited, you guys. And thank you, Evan, for yeah, I mean, saying, yes, please do this, and giving me the inspiration to do it. Okay, have a beautiful day, you guys. Come back and see me, Jen, the Taxidermy Witch.